Okay, so what's up, guys? We're going to be talking about what went down in the Blood of the Dead Easter egg ending cutscene here. There's a bunch of different stuff we can look at, and it definitely points towards a ton of different theories as to what's going to happen next in the Ether storyline, what's going to happen next with this sort of fragmented Origins crew, what happened to Richtofen, and all of this crazy stuff. So if you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. If we can go for 50 likes, that would be sick. And let's get started. So before we go through this theory, well, not really theory, but I'm gonna explain what obviously happens in the cutscene and talk about what that means for, you know, the future of the storyline and what that means looking back at what we've been seeing. Obviously, again, I'll touch upon theories. This isn't necessarily a theory video, but, you know, there are a lot of things you can look at here. I'll make separate videos going on sort of specific theories of why this stuff is happening and what sort of could happen from the events in this cutscene. So before we talk about any of that, I'm going to play the full cutscene for you guys. I just got it from Noah J's video, so I'll leave a link down in the description below to his video. Check that out. If you guys already saw the cutscene and you just want to skip to, you know, my commentary, just skip through a couple minutes. It's like a couple minutes long. I'm going to play the cutscene. After that, we'll talk about it. So here you go.
Listen to how the spirits sing. They are free of this realm.
Ain't that swell? Does that mean we win?
I would be greatly relieved if that were so. I am in no hurry to ensnare my mortal soul.
That will not be necessary, Nikolai. The future has changed.
The Chronorium?
Read it. Learn of your true calling. You must keep your soul. It will be needed to defeat Dr. Monty.
Who?
Hello? Hello? I am still here. Wait. My God. What have I done? I honestly thought you were going to let me bleed to death. It was so sad.
The cycle is broken, Herr Doctor. As such, insurance policies are no longer needed. I wish I could tell you I was sorry, Edward. But I'm not.
No. No, you can help me. You're a doctor. Wait. Don't you know who I am? I have been witness to miracles and calamities. Dimensions born and collapse. I walk a path no other can take. No! I want to be me. Someone who did all the hard work. I wanted to keep going. This is me. My slightest heart. You won't even remember.
So anyway, the obvious things here that we need to point out, which, you know, Dr. Monty being evil, I feel like we sort of knew that, and you know, I made videos a while ago back in Garad Krovi, and then Revelations was a bit interesting because, you know, I always had a feeling Dr. Monty, a lot of people did too, you know, Dr. Monty was evil. He just something didn't seem right about him. Revelations, you know, it didn't seem as bad. The Revelations Easter egg ending cutscene really threw us for a loop, and we just didn't know what Monty was doing. You know, continuing the cycle, it just didn't really make sense. But obviously, now we sort of understand what's going on and, you know, why this cycle has been continuing all this time. It's pretty much because Richtofen just didn't want to kill himself. He didn't want to sacrifice himself, and he just kept on being saved over and over and over again. And finally, this time around, the Primus Richtofen teleports back. That's a bit of an unknown side there. I really don't know what's going on with that, but obviously the Primus Richtofen is there, and he just ends it. He breaks the cycle and finally says, you know, enough is enough. And the Origins Richtofen is crying on the chair, and he's like, oh, you know, I can blah, blah, blah. I want to live. He doesn't say that, but it's pretty much what's going on there. He dies, obviously, and the cycle is officially broken. So, you know, the timeline continues, but within this timeline right there, it's obviously not going to, you know, restart. That's the difference here. So this is not the end of the storyline per se. This is just the end of the, you know, continuation and the constant restart of the storyline that's been going on for, you know, however long they want to say in the story. They could have, you know, they could have been going in this cycle forever. There's probably some sort of radio or cipher that reveals how long they've been going from Origins to Blood of the Dead, from Origins to Blood of the Dead, like over and over and over again. And events of Revelations, how many times, you know, Dr. Monty brought them to that little subsection of the universe that he said he was going to do in the Revelations Easter egg ending cutscene. There's a lot of different things here, and I want to go through separate video. I'm going to make a separate video on this, but I do want to play a quote here from Revelation. Someone found this on Reddit. It's pretty sick. And it's Richtofen, and this is Richtofen again with the mindset as he's been continuing through these storylines, and the cycle has been continuing over and over again. Before the quote play, actually, let me play the quote, then I'll talk to you guys about it. So here you go.
I really thought you were going to let me bleed to death. It was so sad.
He literally says in Revelations, I really thought you were going to let me bleed to death. That, a direct correlation. I mean, that's what happens from the Blood of the Dead ending cutscene right there. That, like, he endured that several times, and pretty much, you know, every time Richtofen was like, oh, I really thought you were going to make me bleed to death. Obviously, you know, finally, you know, this Revelations Richtofen didn't know, but it was finally going to end in this timeline now. That's it. You know, he actually let him bleed to death, and this, you know, this time around, the Primus Richtofen just ended it, broke the cycle, and that was that. So it's obviously really sick. I'll talk about that in a separate video because that's just a really cool Easter egg. There's probably tons of quotes that people will find in the next couple days that, you know, hint at this happening. So this is just one of many. So that's obviously very sick. But anyway, with this storyline going into the future, there's still again a ton of unknowns. You have the transit crew still there, and you have so many different theories that could spawn from this. But if you're looking at this, and again, this video, I don't want to go into theories way too much. This video is just pretty much at face value. What are we looking at here? You know, Nikolai now doesn't need to go to Garad Krovi. He can keep his soul. He has the Chronorium now. The pages have been changed. That's another thing I think people are still confused. At least I'm a little confused about. I don't know who changed the pages of the Chronorium. How is this happening now? Because this is, again, you know, every time it's a new timeline. It's, you know, the timeline's restarting as the cycle continues. But now that the cycle is broken, this is pretty much a new timeline than to what we've ever seen before, because we're not going in a loop anymore. We're not going to go, you know, obviously Blood of the Dead is like sort of during or, you know, right after Zetsubo, so we're not going to go to Garad and then Revelations, and we're not going to restart over and over again. This is a new sort of timeline here, so how this continues, we don't really know. The obvious answer is Dr. Monty, some battle with him, Dr. Monty, and it's sort of weird, you know, he just says, like, Dr. Monty's evil, like, he just sort of flat out says it, you know. I mean, I feel like they'd be a bit more cryptic about that, at least Treyarch putting it in there, but maybe they just want to clear the air and sort of come out clean, just be like, okay, you know what, Dr. Monty's evil, let's just let everyone know so we're all on the same page here. I feel like they didn't need to tell us that. They could have had something else in there that made us think, like, oh, is Dr. Monty this target right now? Again, so many just crazy stuff you could think about. Dr. Monty, you know, controlling the zombies potentially, or is it Shadow Man? Is the Shadow Man, like, it's just, oh man, it's just insane. So again, that's what's going on here. You know, maybe Nikolai will have a lot more importance within the next maps. Obviously, that's another thing. We're probably going to see more ether. We have to see more ether maps. We have to see at least one more, because, you know, this timeline isn't, it's not a cycle. It's not like they're continuing the cycle. Revelations was just like, oh, that's it. You know, it just goes again. Like, okay, well, great. What does that mean? You know, that's why we were so confused. Like, what does that mean? Blood of the Dead, finally, although there's a lot that's going to happen after Blood of the Dead, finally gives us sort of some, like, this is the first time we have some sort of closure. Okay, you know, like, no, the cycle has ended. Like, I just hit my mic. That's how, you know what I mean? The cycle has ended. That's it, finally. So, we're in the, like I said, the storyline hasn't ended. Storyline will continue, obviously, but the cycle, the continuation, going through those maps over and over again, the summoning key, capturing the souls, that has finally ended. So, that's pretty insane. And that's pretty much it right now. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, leave your theories down in the description, comment section below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.